Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai Bashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to title this video Hebrew Israelites Trending. So I look up the word trending, and it means currently popular or widely discussed online, especially on social media. So what's trending? Now this right here, okay, Russia opens century-old cellars and reveals black biblical Israelites. This was 2 months ago. Now check this out. This is from AFP News Agency, whatever AFPC means. Rare Russian icons on display in Moscow. This was 15 years ago. So we're talking 14. We're talking 2009. Oh, see, look at that. A comment. It's funny that people are thinking this is new news in 2024. It's not new news. If you watch this video, rare Russian icons on display in Moscow. This guy's got you can see he's got a fro. You can see that the mother Mary and this child are black people. Let me do this. Come back over here. Come back over here. Look at that. You can see the fro, the beard, brown skin. And we had these books almost, I had icons, still got the icon books that I got almost more than 35 years ago. An angel, you can see. Look at that. That's a Jake. See the fro? See the aura around his head? That's supposed to be, who is that? St. George the Dragon Slayer, I believe. And it says that these icons go back to did they say the 13th century, which was, well, they said the 14th century, which is the 1300s. This is right before or in the beginning stages of the Renaissance. What is the Renaissance all about? Rebirth. Esau coming back into power. Revelation chapter 20, verse 1 on down. To deceive the world. And the deception is to say that the Israelites, the saints, which are the Israelites, the Heavenly Father, the Messiah, the angels are white people. Look at that. You can see, it's not a close-up, but you can see that it's a dark skin, got an afro. Look at that. You can clearly see, looks like he got dreads or braids. You can clearly see that that's a woman of color and a child. It's supposed to be the Madonna and child. Back to the basics. This one you can argue, but you can see it's brown. Well, look at the nose. It's a white man. But look at the hair. Look at that. They don't look white to me. They don't look like they have straight hair. They have afros, naturals we used to call it. Yeah, before afros in the early 60s, you had 40s, 50s, you had Jake had the conch in their hair. So then before they call it afros, they call it naturals. See? Clearly, you can see this is an Edomite woman. You can see that this image right here is clearly, and it's not, there was so much dirt that they appeared to be black, but they were really white. Look at that. You see a fro. You can see the face. Clearly a so-called black woman, black man or woman. A closer image, you can clearly see that it's a so-called black woman. So whatever that is, a man or a woman. Oh, this woman says people around the world should learn art in Russia, not in Italy. You see what it appears to be a fro around his head. You see that it's a black, this is supposed to be the Messiah on the cross. See a cross right there. And mind you, this is 9 years, how many years? 15 years ago. So the Russians, if you watch the fight with this guy, Alexander Usyk against this guy, Tyson Fury. They had a video of him training, Alexander Usyk, and he had icons on the wall, and they were so-called black people. He's from Ukraine. Amazing. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the fro. Look at the fro. The brown skin. Look at the woman. This is supposed to be marrying the child, and that's supposed to be Joseph, if I'm not mistaken. Look at that. I guess that's supposed to be an angel, but you can see the brown skin. About the complexion of Apostle Gabar. Look at that. That's not white doggy stringy hair. That's a afro. Okay, let me do this. Okay, I'm gonna change up a little bit. So we're trending. You know, Tucker Carlson, I spoke to a gentleman, an individual, and he was telling me that we were black. He was talking about myself. Okay, so let me see here. How old is the Paleo Hebrew? The earliest known example.
According to Wikipedia, the earliest known examples of Paleo-Hebrew writing date to the 10th century BCE.
So they're saying that's 10,000 years before the birth of the Messiah, which they're off on that. Like the Phoenician alphabet. The Phoenician alphabet is ancient Hebrew, Paleo-Hebrew, because the Canaanites wrote and read in Hebrew. It is a slight regional variant and immediate continuation of the Paleo-Canaanite script. Right, Phoenician is Greek for Canaanite. When you come across the word Phoenician, the word there goes back to the word Canaanite. the Syro-Phoenicians, Proto, meaning first, Canaanite script, which was used throughout Canaan in the late Bronze Age. You know what I'm going to do? Let's do this. I'm sorry. Move this out the way. Let me go to Paleo Hebrew. Let me just put it Paleo Hebrew. It's the Paleo Hebrew. Let's go to images. Which they call the ancient Hebrew. Les Lunes Stone. This is, let me come over here. This is proof that the Israelites came to America. This is found in America. Let me see, the Los Lunes Decalogue. Decalogue meaning 10 logs, 10 law stones. The Los Lunes inscription is an abridged version of the Decalogue, or 10 Commandments. Deca is 10, log meaning writings or laws. Commandments, chisel carved into the flat face of a large boulder, resting on the side of hidden mountain near Los Lunos, New Mexico, about 35 south of Albuquerque. And it is in writing in ancient Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, Ak, also known as a Les Lunas Decalogue stone, and commandments rock, the 80-ton, wow, that's what, 160,000 pounds boulder of volcanic basalt bears an inscription which is believed to be an abbreviated version of the Ten Commandments written in Hebrew. This is why the whole Hebrew Israelite thing is trending. And the Jays are scared. Paleo Hebrew writing, Phoenician alphabet. So you got this clown vocab saying, oh, we made the language up. Oh, really? The Phoenician alphabet is a consonantal alphabet, or abjad, used across the Mediterranean civilization of Phoenicia, which is Canaan, for most of the first millennium, first 1,000 years BCE, before the Christian era or the Common Era. It was the first mature alphabet and attested in Canaanite and Arabic inscriptions found across the Mediterranean region. It's also found in America. We showed you the Les Lunas Decalogue stone. Phoenician alphabet versus Hebrew. There's no difference in Paleo-Hebrew versus Phoenician letter shapes. The names are applied depending on the language of the inscription, or if that cannot be determined, the coastal or Phoenician versus highland Hebrew associated. Blah, 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 blah. The Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Okay, this is from a brother that used to be down with GMS many years ago. He put this together, that you have other camps have used this, because we gave it out for anybody that wanted to use it, and that's Paleo-Hebrew. This is when we was on Daily Motion, because they cut us from the YouTube. Them people in the small hats, the JJs, they don't speak Paleo-Hebrew. They'll speak this form of Hebrew, which is right here, which is not Hebrew, but you can read it as Hebrew. It's Assyrian writings, which goes back to the Assyrians and Babylonians. So this truth is coming out. Oh, let me show you one more thing. Let me see. Come over here. Just checking. Russia opens century-old cellars and reveal black biblical Israelites. So we are those people. So somebody's an imposter. Russia just revealed the truth about Black Jesus. Got a movie, The Book of Clarence, where the characters that played by Hebrews are all so-called black people. See, we're the threat. We're a spiritual threat. They want to say we're a physical threat. We're a spiritual threat. It's the Most High that's going to, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is going to physically threaten you. We're lambs, sheep in the midst of wolves, as the scriptures say. Let me see where I said I was going to go. That's why it's important. That's why it's important to know the name of the Most High and the Son Yahushua. If you don't know the name of Yahweh and Yahushua, and you claim to be a prophet, you're a false prophet. You're a false prophet. Somebody asks you, okay, you teach me all these scriptures. Well, what's the name of the Most High? What's his son's name? You can't say Jesus. Oh, we don't know. Remember, Tazadakia, the so-called God-sent comforter, played that game, and the Most High took him out, and he was in his 40s. He was a young man. Most High just took him out on April Fool's Day. So who had the last laugh? The Hawabah Shem Yahushai. But he's good now. He's not burning in hell like these Israelite groups teaching this nonsense that there's an eternal hell that your soul burns in forever. These guys have been compromised. Okay, where did I say I was going to go? I'm a little all over the place. Where did I say I was going to go? Oh, yeah. Now I know where I'm going to go. Now I know I'm going to go. Give me a second here. Okay, this is not the video, although I was watching some of this.
Dialects,
Hebrew in the name,
for lack of better words,
IUIC need
because
to
the Lord confounded
cut
the
it
language.
out.
But pretty much.
Let me see. Let me do this. Yeah, Tariq Nasheed said recently, we ain't no Hebrew Israelites. But then he did an interview on, what's that, No Jumper, and Tazariak was on there, and Tariq Nasheed was saying, no, yeah, it was Hebrews. There was definitely Hebrews in the Americas before the white man got over here. And basically, Tariq Nasheed is saying that he's a original black person, not an African. So basically, he's saying, if anything, he's saying he's a Gadite or a Reubenite, which are dark skin, different shades of brown. Okay, give me a second here. Okay, let me try it live. I believe it's, let's see if I'm correct. This is it. Give me a second. I gotta find it now. It's on the subject of hell. That's another demon. I thought it was. Can this be it? Yep, this is it. So, myself, and Apostle Ramla have been doing videos on the hell doctrine, because now IUIC, all of a sudden, I don't know when they started teaching this madness, but it is madness, that hell is an actual place that your soul burns in forever. So I did a couple of videos, and Apostle Ramla did a couple of videos on this, and he had mentioned over the last weekend that there was a page where they said that Yahushua was describing America, well, was talking about America, describing it as being Gehenna, which is not Gehenna, but Gehenna, America, the U.S. is going to be basically Gehenna. It says, that's why when you go to Isaiah 34, it says bullocks and goats And that's what they did in Gehenna, in the valley of Hinnom. It says Gehenna valley, the curious case of the undying worms. Let me go to not die. And by the way, Yahushua was quoting Isaiah. Isaiah saw the vision of Babylon on fire, the U.S. on fire, and he wrote it down. And he didn't know that it was America. Yahushua, when he came back and spoke about the destruction of this place, he knew that it was America. Many assume that it must be only a mystic hell, that worms don't even that worms don't die even in fire. Isn't that the case? Only those who know the Messiah, first century Gehenna Valley, or the Ge represent valley, is Greek for the Hebrew word valley. Like the word Idumea, it's not a Greek word, it's just a Greek way of saying Edom or the Edomite. Valley will know the true meaning of this phrase. Even today we know that fire is kept continually burning, and city waste burners in the same fashion fires were kept burning, not quenched, in Gehenna Valley of that time. But why did the worms not die? Because while the fire used to burn at the bottom, it's hard to see these letters, of Gehenna Valley, it was in the, let me see, give me a second. It was in the vegetation that lined the slopes of the valley that the worms thrived. And these worms do not die because they were maggots that eventually turn into flies. So worms is talking about maggots, parasites. They were outside of the perimeter of Gehenna. Okay, let me see what this says in 8. What does Yahushua signify with all these in terms of Gehenna Valley? Dead bodies thrown into Gehenna Valley would be destroyed by the fires burning below. The ones that might get stuck in the slopes would be consumed by worms. Bodies dumped in the Gehenna into Gehenna would be destroyed one way or the other without fail. Likewise, now these people do not say, I haven't read the whole article, but they do not compare it to America. But Yahushua, in quoting Isaiah 66, I believe it's the 24th verse, where the place where the fire is not quenched and the worm dieth not. Yahushua understood it was America on fire. He saw America on fire because he's a Messiah. But now the worms just represent death. Worms represent death. The fire not being quenched is Babylon the Great. No, there's not a fire truck big enough to put out the fire because it's covering 5,000 square miles. You know how hard time they have putting out a forest fire that might cover a couple of miles? They got helicopters throwing water on it. They got all kind of, they can't, and the fire keeps raging. A lot of times they got to set other fires to cause that major fire to follow that new fire that they set up. You had reports of in California of fires in forests that would actually leap over the highway to the other side to burn that side. So those are definitely angels. That's in Hebrews chapter 1 and verse 7. So what Yahushua was, matter of fact, you know what, let me do this. Have a little fun with this. Okay, did they mention Let me do this. Because you're unlearned if you're teaching that hell is an actual place that your spirit burns in forever. You really don't know the scriptures. Or the Most High took that information from you. Let me see, hellfire. I'm sorry. Let me go to the scriptures. Hellfire. Hell. Fire. It disproves that the Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is not dealing with the IUIC. Yeah, but they marched down the street in unison. Well, guess what? The Nation of Islam did the same thing. Does that mean the Most High is with them? Esau's military marched down the street. Is the Most High with them? Hell nah. Okay, Raqqa. Okay, let me see. The Raqqa shall be in danger of a council, but whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. So let me do it this way. I'm almost done. See, you speaking all that hell stuff, and you gonna wind up in hell for real. Well, if I do wind up in hell, the Most High never told me I was. There's no scripture on that. I'll be, well, wait a minute. The Most High never showed us that there was a hell. Okay, Bible Hub, commentaries, Matthew 5:22. And you're gonna have simple, but wait a minute, brothers had dreams that they was in hell. There's people that actually had dreams. Somebody brought a tape recorder down there, and you can hear hell, but it didn't melt the tape recorder. This is showing that you Christians are a bunch of boneheads. And that includes you, vocab. Okay, go over here. Let me see. Cambridge Bible for Schools and Colleges. Without cause, judgment, Raqqa. Go right to the point. Right to the point. Hellfire, Gehenna fire, burning Gehenna. Gehenna is the Greek form of the Hebrew Gehenom, or Valley of Hinnom, sometimes called Valley of the Son of Hinnom, also Tophet, Jeremiah 7 verse 31. It was a deep, narrow glen of valley, southwest of Jerusalem, once the scene of the cruel worship of Molech. So they sacrificed their children and they threw it in the fire, which was Gehenna. Because you had Jake's secretly worshiping Molech. The scriptures say, casting your children to the fire, to the god Molech. But Josiah, in the course of his reformation, defiled Tophet, that no man might make his son or his daughter to pass through the fire to Molech. 2 Kings 23 verse 10. First Molech, horrid king, besmeared with blood, besmeared or smeared with blood of human sacrifices and parents' tears, though for the noise of drums and timbrels loud, the children's cries unheard that passed through the fire to his grim idol, which is Molech. So Jake was worshiping these idols. After that, now it doesn't say anything about hell. Doesn't say anything about hell. Hellfire is talking about hell. It doesn't say anything. Let me do this. Word find. Hell. Any Israelite group out there, you should know better. You need to stop the madness. Stop it. Get some help. Any Israelite group out there teaching that there's an actual hell, Yahweh Ba'ashem Hawashai is not dealing with you. Period. So Cambridge got it right. Okay, right here they're saying it's hell. Into hell, or hellfire, literally Gehenna fire. So when Yahushua said the place where the worm dieth not and the fire is not quenched, he wasn't talking about Gehenna. He was describing the U.S. looking like Gehenna. Let me see. He said to go not to the 7 of the 70, but to hell. Hellfire, burning Gehenna. Burning Gehenna. Gehenna. This is Cambridge anyway. Look at this. Hellfire. The original of this is the Gehenna of fire. The word Gehenna, commonly translated hell, is made up of two Hebrew words and signifies the valley of Hinnom. This is not talking about an eternal place of hell. If you're an Israelite and you're teaching that, number one, the Most High is not dealing with you, and number two, you took some bags, you made a deal for a Happy Meal with these demons to deceive people. Many false messiahs, many false prophets shall deceive many, but the elect shall not be deceived. If it were possible, they would deceive the very elect. That's why nobody in GMS is leaving. When was members of GMS leaving GMS to get with the IUIC? When did you ever hear of ISUPK leaving? ISUPK members leaving ISUPK to get with the IUIC? And for that matter, did you ever see IUIC member leave IUIC to get with GMS or ISUPK? Okay, so it says the Gehenna fire means the judgment of hell. And this is this clown named Lightfoot. He's light-headed. Let me do this. I'm looking for the word Gehenna again. Okay, let me do a word find on Gehenna. "26 times. And they describe a Gehenna, it's a garbage dump. Hellfire, Gehenna fire, i.e. burning Gehenna. Gehenna, the Greek form of the Hebrew Gehinnom, or Valley of Hinnom, sometimes called the Valley. We just read that. And they said they sacrificed their kids. The Israelites sacrificed their kids to the fire. The cremation of Care at the Bohemian Grove. So these scholars are telling you the truth. They're telling you it's a garbage dump, a place where you threw dead animals at and sacrifice your kids. So I'm gonna say this again: any Israelite group that's teaching that there's an actual place called hell, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai is not dealing with you, or you took a backdoor deal, which means Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai is not dealing with you. And them same groups that teach this are not, well, maybe some of them is teach Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, but if you notice, IUIC does not push the true name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. GOCC does not push the true name Yahweh Shai. And GOCC also teaches that there's an actual spiritual hell. And I believe they teach there's no such thing as reincarnation. And they teach that Cornelius is an Edomite. And the Edomites can make it. Most High gonna mess up a lot of y'all. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom. On to the next one. Shalom.